And welcome back. With us now is plant lady extraordinaire, Grace Sullivan. Grace, thanks for joining us again here on Ozarks Live. How are things?
I'm doing well. How are you?
We're good. We're good. Okay, so I just have to start by asking, how do you know so much about plants and how did you get into this whole thing?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I started with indoor plants like most people do. And then what happened is I noticed in the winter and fall, all my outdoor plants died, and I started overwatering my indoor plants, so I needed something to keep my hands busy. Yes, absolutely.
Okay, very good. So then from there, how did you like perfect your craft?
Yeah, so I got, I blow glass, and then that got me into doing stained glass.
Okay.
Yes, and so I learned how to do stained glass, and then I thought, okay, I can do stained glass and mix that with garden flowers, and then voila, here we are today.
And here you are, yeah. Which is really neat. And I want to know, like, what are some things you've seen that people may use besides just like maybe flowers from their garden to be able to do this? Because I was telling you before the show, I know like a lot of ladies now will use like their wedding bouquets or the boutonnieres or some kind of like special sentimental thing like that to do something like this.
Absolutely. So you can just use flowers from your garden, or I love going on camping trips, and so a lot of times we'll cut some flowers from like a favorite campsite. I have 2 kiddos. Sometimes they'll pick flowers for me. I'll press those. So sometimes it's just flowers that I like from the garden, or sometimes it's from a special moment of life.
Okay, that makes sense. So how does this process work? Because you brought in a few things to be able to do this.
Absolutely, yes. It's a very simple process. So the first thing is you have your beautiful flowers. Yes.
That little vase is so tiny.
Thank you, so cute. And then, so this is a flower press.
Okay.
So you can find these online, Amazon, Etsy, things like that.
Whatever you prefer.
All it is you have 2 pieces of wood, and in between you have layers of cardboard, blotting paper, and your flowers inside. And if you don't want to buy a fancy flower press, you can just use a heavy book. That's all
I remember like thinking my whole life that's what encyclopedias were for.
Yes, I use them too. Absolutely,
That's amazing.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So in about 2 weeks, they go from looking like this to being nice and flat like this.
That is incredible.
Yeah, and so this is thin enough that we can put between 2 planes of glass, or if you don't know how to do stained glass, I came today and we have a fun project that you can just use a regular picture frame.
Which is a great addition to the home or your office or whatever that looks like.
So anyone can do it.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so walk us through the process then.
Okay, so do you want to try?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mandy, you got this.
I'm really excited you got this. So all you have to do is put a thin layer of the Mod Podge over your whole piece of paper.
Okay.
And all I did ahead of time is I just picked a frame that I liked. I cut a piece of paper to suit the frame, and all she's doing is a nice thin layer of Mod Podge.
Yeah. You know what I like about this too is that it seems to be a very like cheap and affordable little project too as well that, like I said, could add addition to your home or office or whatever.
Exactly, and you can use it for gifts. I mean, now that Christmas
that's a great
and
idea.
birthdays, all these things are around the corner, you can go ahead and do these things now, and it's very inexpensive.
And this is seeming simple enough to do with young kids too.
Absolutely, stained glass not for littles.
Right.
This
I think I'm doing it right. She says, yeah.
You're doing great.
Where did you get this paper that I'm putting Mod Podge on? Is it anything special?
Nothing special, just from Hobby Lobby. I just liked it because it was kind of sparkly.
Yeah.
That
So
was
really
it.
you could pick whatever paper you like.
I mean, exactly. You can do printer paper at home or pretty paper if that's something that you like.
Whatever suits your
Absolutely.
Okay, so what's the next step after you do that?
So I like putting my background on first. So we'll get the green piece and just put it on there anywhere that you like. That's great. And just push it down so we have nice, good contact.
Andy, you're such an artist.
Look at her go. Look at her go.
You guys are going to be booking me on here. All right.
And then now, since it's still wet, you just add your flowers and just layer them as you choose, and that's it.
Oh, that's so easy.
That's it.
Okay.
Yes.
And then how long would you advise to like let it dry or let it sit before you put it in a frame or do whatever you're going to do with it?
It honestly doesn't take any time at all. Give it 10 minutes, get a pair of scissors, trim off your excess, put in your frame, and you're good to go.
Okay.
That's it.
Interesting.
That's it.
Look at that.
Look at you go.
That's really neat.
I'm very excited.
Well done. Well
now,
done.
is there anything else that you can think that people could do with like the pressed flowers besides just like putting it in a frame or hanging it somewhere or whatever that may look like?
Sure. I mean, there's all kinds of things you can do. I've seen some people, they'll put it on a paper like this. Maybe they put another thin layer on top of it. You can wrap that around a candle. Some people can do different decoupage, like you just in a bigger frame in like a kid's room. There's all kinds of things. You can do greeting cards, little get well thank you cards. All
That's a
kinds
great
of things.
idea to lift someone's spirits. Yeah, that's really neat. Okay, So if people want to start this project or get any help, is there any way that people can get a hold of you to reach out?
Sure. So I'm on Instagram.
Okay.
Sullivan Studios Glass.
Sullivan Studios
And they can
Glass.
send me a message, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Okay, and now can they find tips on there too of things you've done in the past?
Absolutely. Yeah,
Okay.
all kinds of projects, little videos, little pictures of things that we've done. And yeah, you can ask me any kind of question there.
Okay, super helpful. Grace, thank you for being here.
Yes,
This is awesome.
you did great.
Yeah.
You did
And we discovered that Mandy's an artist, so it's a win-win.
Yeah, I love it.